Okay, let's make a simple license plate in Autodesk Inventor using the standard size. Let's just start with a new one. And I'm just going to use the standard IPS inches, pounds, and seconds. We'll start a sketch on the bottom plane and use the standard size, which is about 12 inches by 6 inches. Well, I guess it's not really the word about applies here, but I guess exactly that's the size that we should expect. And then the height of this is going to be half of that. It's going to be 6 inches. So we don't really need that many places past the decimal. So I'm going to reduce it to just one place like that. Okay. Now, if you look up the standard radius of curvature on the edges, you'll find out that they're about 1 inch. So we will do that. We're going to do that with a sketch fillet. Here it is. And I've learned that it's better to come up here and type it in first before you go select the two areas to curve. It looks a bit more than you normally get for that, but that's what I was finding. Okay, and then I looked up the thickness of the um, license plate, and it's typically about 0.03 inches. I'm going to use 0.04 because we're going to make this out of PLA, and that's about 1 millimeter. So perhaps what we should do though is before we start is to kind of make a border around here. And I've found that those are typically somewhere between 1/4 inch and a half inch. So how about we just do 3/8, see what that looks like. Looks pretty good. Then we can start our extrude. And we can just make the extrude in the middle 1 millimeter. So you can type in 1 millimeter like that, and it will basically put in 0.038 on the thickness. Now, one of the things I should have done here is only focused on the middle so that I can have a little bit more raised effect on the outer border. Or I could put like a groove in there, but I'll just raise it up just a little bit. So we're going to say edit feature, and we want to make sure that we only selected the middle. Well, it looks like I did that. So then all you got to do is say plus, and then go out here to the outside. And let's just make this one like 1.5 millimeters. And let's see what that looks like. And the part disappeared. So it might have been that I accidentally hit a cut there. So we'll say edit sketch. Oops, not edit sketch. That's certainly not what we want to do. We want to edit the feature. And let's see if it automatically went over there and decided to do a cut. And it looks like I hit edit sketch again. So we need to say edit feature. And it did say cut. So we need to say extrude. And that did not seem like it gave us anything as far as a different extrusion. So I'll go in here and check that out again. Edit feature. Yeah, I wonder why it's not visible. Oh, well, yeah, I'm not sure why it's not visible. I guess I can go up to 2 millimeters. That thinks I'm doing 2 inches, but it looks like it just didn't handle things differently. So what we can do here is go back to this one and just hit delete, because I think what it did was it's extruding the whole thing instead of just the boundary. And I've seen that kind of thing happen before, especially if you're not zoomed in far enough, it sometimes thinks that you're trying to extrude the whole thing. So if we're here, I wonder if I can just say extrude now, and we're going to do this, and we're going to say 1.5 millimeters. And we want to make sure, yeah, see how it kind of highlighted the whole thing? We just want that. And let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, so it's got to be careful with that. I wasn't so careful. There's the right side. There's the top that we're looking for. Looking pretty good. Looking like a standard license plate. Now, what I did also was I went and looked up the font to use for a license plate. And I found that to be something like FE script. And so I copied the font over to my machine. And so now I'm going to put some boss or like extruded lettering in the space provided. So I'm going to make that much space. But I think what I'm going to do is just kind of, I'm going to call since these are not going to be a real license plate, I'm going to turn them into signs instead. So it's going to put turtle for the license plate lettering. And you got to select the whole thing in order to change the font. And I believe it was something like FE space. Let's see if I can go to it. Oh, there it is. FE dash font. So that's apparently supposed to be a standard font for license plates. So make this 4 inches tall, maybe bold. That might be a bit much. And you see that it rotated it the wrong way, and it's also too tall. So to rotate text in Autodesk Inventor, you click on Rotate. You select the object, which is the text, and it highlights in green. Then you select the center point about which you want to rotate. Be this one right here. And then I normally just go over here and I type in 90 degrees. That way it's exactly the wrong way. So then I guess I can do it again and then select the center point. I guess here, I guess I should have typed in 270. Let's see if 180 does it. Much better. And so we'll apply that. And then what we can do is you see this little border here. You can actually bring that up if you grab it, maybe on the corner like this. And obviously my font size is too big. So let's shrink this down. Come to think about it, it seemed like you normally put the state above the number anyway. So that kind of makes sense. So let's reduce this to 3 and see if it's any better. So 3 inches, and that's getting closer. Let's do 2.5, and I think we might be golden. So make sure you hit Control A for the size of the font to make sure it's going to apply to all the characters. Not bad. And then what you can do is once you figure out where the border is, oh, mine's way down here somewhere. I think somehow it got way down there. You can grab this corner and put it over here around those midpoints. Then what you can do is go back in there and align it to the center. So we can use this alignment tool and that alignment tool right there. Let's see if that brings it to the center. Looks pretty good. And how about we extrude that out a bit using the engrave or the emboss tool. Okay, so I'm not sure why that's not showing. I want to emboss that. Do I have to hit finish? I didn't think I had to do that. Okay, emboss. Now, I wonder if that went back to the other sketch. Yep, it looks like it actually did that. But that's okay, because what we can do is say, why don't we just go back to this one and include more of the features inside of the extrusion. Now let's see if I can flip over to the other side, and let's see if it would raise that. And it looks like that actually worked, to my surprise. So not only do we have the border, but we also have the lettering extruded out, and that looks pretty good. And what you would do next if you wanted to 3D print this, obviously, is you would say, make the bottom one color like white, and then the top color black, for example. And you could do other things like add states and stuff like that. But again, this is just for entertainment purposes only, to put signs on a wall, not to put on an actual vehicle, of course. I hope this helps you learn how to make signs in general. You can use the same kind of approach. Just look up the standards online, and you find out for a license plate, it's 12 by 6 inches and the radius of curvature here. So every one of these things that I used, I looked up to see what the standard was, so that way I can make it as realistic as possible. All right, I will see you in the next video.